There are so many things I want to show you today, like interesting pieces of glass, a weird piece of wood with some color on it. I even want to talk about my beautiful guitar. But mainly, we'll talk about mistakes in design, so stick around, bear with me, I will show you everything. Mistake number 1. I don't want any visible screws. This one always gets me. You might think the ultimate sign of a premium furniture design is hiding all the screws. You'd be wrong. In fact, that's often potential first red flag of a massive design failure. I have to tell you one story. We were helping to develop a product for a relatively large company. A famous architect designed the product for them. The design came with a visualization and a very simple technical drawing stating a width and length. It also stated no visible mechanical joints and screws. We were breaking our brains coming up with solutions on how to make this product happen according to a brief that didn't obey the rules of physics. To make it work, we had to add some structural elements or adjust the design. There was no other way around. Every time we did, the company said, you can't adjust any part of the design. If we kept the design and added a screw, a note came from a superstar architect, no screws. We were trapped. Unfortunately, the brief was impossible and we couldn't help. This is a classic brief from a client who lack manufacturing experience. They think hiding the hardware means the product is next level engineering. In reality, it complicates the product and it creates permanent joints that result in a piece you can't service, adjust or repair. You often can't recycle it either because materials are permanently fused. You can say I'm not a big fan. On the other hand, I'm a big fan of mechanical joints. They make products repairable, future-proof and honest. For example, on our Bolt chair, we made the washers extra large to loudly communicate that it's flat pack and it's mechanically joined. It's an honest design. Mistake number 2, the perfection trap. It is relatively straightforward to get a product to 95% of its intended quality. But pushing it to 99% will take you just as much time as the first 95%. Complexity grows exponentially, and true perfection is impossible. Imagine spending half your total energy on the last 5%. Does it actually make the product twice as good? There is a clear line between perfection and quality. Perfection is a bit of an ego boost. Quality focuses on adding value where the user actually appreciates it. It is important to know when to stop. Mistake number 3. Fighting the material/wrong message. This happens when you say one thing but your material says something else. You are using solid wood but you spray paint it pink. If it's solid wood, it makes sense if it looks like one. If you heavily spray paint it to look like plastic, just use a cheaper material instead. Of course, there are great exceptions for this. Like this beautiful Gibson guitar. Here, paint serves a function and it affects the sound. But when the guitar gathers patina, it also adds character and beauty. Let's stick with this point a little longer and talk about another example. Take blown glass. If you blow glass into a sphere or any very similar shapes, it will be very strong. The stress is distributed evenly. If you force glass into square, it becomes weak, uneven and fragile. Look at this square example. It's already chipped. It's important to understand the material features and limits. Mistake number 4, the must-have detail. Designers sometimes get attached to a signature detail, even if it eats up most of the budget. Take the recent trend of heavy rounded edges. Making a wooden box with the round edges can easily triple the price. The entire manufacturing industry is optimized for a flat sheet material. You buy even solid wood in planks, not in trees. Building from a flat, square stock is a natural, highly efficient process. When you force everything to be round, you go against the grain of the entire industry. Sometimes it looks cool, often it just shifts complexity to the next level for no reason. In manufacturing, less complexity means less cost, less headache, and less time wasted. For me, there needs to be reason for every detail. Like Hemingway said, any words that don't serve story have to be removed. Mistake number 5. Designing for the wrong space. If you are designing a chair for a busy restaurant, it needs to withstand abuse. It will be used 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. In fact, sometimes restaurant chairs are designed to be slightly less comfortable on purpose, so people don't camp at the table and the restaurant can serve more customers. But if you design a chair for a living room, you need completely different set of rules. You might need to put a little cushion on the seat. Use materials that age well, and maybe you can use even more expensive details. It's critical to establish exactly who the product is for and how it will actually be used. If the context is wrong, the design fails. There is no one size fits all or a golden ratio that can be used on everything. Context is very important. Mistake number 6. Ignoring the budget. Many projects look amazing in a 3D renders but fall apart in execution because designer's concept didn't align with the budget. And this is not only from the money perspective. You always need a budget to make stuff, of course, but great design doesn't require an infinite one. If you design intelligently, you can save money somewhere and invest it elsewhere, where it actually makes a difference. So the result is a combination of things. Just like a good song needs both lead and rhythm, products and spaces need highlight features and supporting acts, working in harmony. Mistake number 7. Wasting labor and energy. A couple of years ago, we helped engineer a table for an architectural studio. When we had an elaborate sample ready to show, the main architect who came for the meeting with 2 other people laid on the floor of our studio to check how the table looked from the bottom. I found it quite amusing at the time, and I thought that it was really nice that he cared so much, until he asked us to make changes that made us spend a lot of extra time and raise the cost of the table for the client by 30% without any difference to usability or visible design from the outside. He just wanted it to be beautiful from the bottom too. The client didn't understand and thought we were just trying to make more money off of him. When we talk about sustainability, we obsess over wasted materials. We rarely talk about wasted labor and energy. Spending 20 hours CNC machining the hidden backside of an aluminum part is just as wasteful as using a lot of unsustainable material. I'm not saying you should only make the visible facade beautiful. Products need to be well engineered inside out, but using unreasonably complicated, high-energy processes for hidden internal parts is just bad design. I made all of these mistakes, probably many times, and occasionally I still do, mainly on purpose. Those are the rules you can break. Sometimes it can lead to something interesting, but to do it well, it's good to understand them and to listen to the material. It is always a good idea to save energy and resources, even when your budget is unlimited, which it hardly is. Last but not least, be clear on your message. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe anyway. This is Why It Takes Time, and I'll see you at the next one. I kinda dig this one. I bet somebody's gonna ask us soon to do something like this.